opening up the keychain, the keyhole, and just looking outside. I'm like, no. So then you get into the whole industry of like adult film. Was it what you expected doing your first scene? So you had me doing moonsaults off the top rope.
Oh my God.
I have implants.
I feel like I know of it somewhere. Why?
Why not?
I mean, I thought about it for a long while before I did it. I mean, I got a lot of uproar from the whole industry, but who are they to judge me?
Yeah, I mean, what are they?
They can all go to hell. They don't pay my bills.
No, you got a point.
And that's that.
Hi, welcome to a brand new episode of Crazy Train with Jasmine St. Clair. Not even Crazy Train. I think it's safe to say it's just off the rails at this point. But thank you so much for joining me today. I see that we have 9 people so far. Woo! Okay. I also want to thank a lot of you for catching these on the restreams, which is what I always post on YouTube afterwards. Hi, Dave. You know, I don't know if you messaged me your address last week for those giveaways. If that was you in Instagram, is that you under Kevin LaRose? Hi, Leo. How are you? Thank you. I know hi, Jamal. Paul. Yes, guys. How are you? I know everyone's absolutely disgusted today with my guests, which I think is ridiculous. I just, I thought I'd bring in someone beautiful, but I don't know if everyone's like down for that. Sorry to hear about Niagara Falls, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. And also, I just want to let you guys know, if you like what you're seeing, make sure to get a super sticker or a super like or a thanks or something like that. I have a few memberships on here so far, which have been going pretty well. So eventually, some point next month, I'll be releasing a lot of exclusive videos for members only. But I'm looking forward to this one because I love Dominique Simone. So when you think about the 90s and you think about 90s babes, of course, Dominique has to come to mind because that's she's a mega babe from the 90s. And as you know, any girl from the 90s, the adult film stars, they just don't make them like that anymore. I don't know where they're getting them from, but it's just not like that anymore, which is a shame. Oh, you're so sweet. You don't have to send me anything, Leo, but if you like what you're seeing, you could always buy a like or a super like on here. Speaking of which, it is Valentine's Day in a couple of days. I don't know how many of you guys have plans or anything fun to do or I don't know, just stuff to do or people to hang out with, whether it's your cat, your dog. So tonight you have me and Dominique to hang out with. And obviously I said I'll be doing giveaways tonight. And Dominique has a couple of signed copies of her book called A Star is Porn, which is an amazing book, by the way. I really liked it. I thought it was great. Just comparing what the adult business was back then versus now, especially being of African-American descent. It was I think it was a little bit difficult back then for girls to get into this type of business at that time. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. So does anyone have any plans this week? Anything fun to do? Hey, Scott, how are you? This was actually Scott's request, I think, for Dominique. And a friend of mine from Trinidad and Tobago who wanted to see Dominique Simone. I don't know. It's been a crazy one. It's been some serious rain in California. When I say crazy rain, I mean cuckoo, really bad. Last night there was a really bad crash on my block. So some wackadoodle goes flying down, almost knocking my motorcycle over, by the way. And goes flying down and hits another car. The other car spins out in the other way. This is 2-3 in the morning. And the guy just ran. I think they just let him go because that's the temperature of what we're dealing with these days, which is really, super sad. It's not, it's not fun anymore. I just got a text from a friend of mine. But anyway, so I'm looking forward to tonight because I know a lot of you listen to Crazy Train and like it. Hey, Sean. Hey, how are you, Sean? How are you? So Sean, everyone, is from Trinidad and Tobago. And they have a very special carnival celebration this time of year. And it's really beautiful and, colorful. Alan, how are you, Alan? Did you see the Loch Ness Monster yet? And I'm being good this time. I'm not doing the giveaways at the top of the show. I'm waiting for people because I want everyone to get a gift bag one day. Some of my subscribers might be hopping in the room tonight. Members always get like a special hello and things like that. And starting next month, there are like 3 different membership levels. And on one of them, you can get exclusive content that I normally don't post. And everything's super reasonably priced. Sean, how is it in Trinidad and Tobago? Please tell me it's warm right now, especially for Carnival, because the girls there are half clad, I think. And I know what it's like in Scotland already, but yeah, I love Scotland. I think Scotland's one of the most beautiful places in the world. And I think Trinidad and Tobago has some of the best foods because I love West Indian food. There's like no secret about that. And it's funny because when I had Dominique Simone on the show, Sean's one of the first people that messaged me. He was all excited. And I think she's a cool guest live. I mean, having conversations with girls from that era, it's way different because she actually went to AVN this year, the Adult Video Nose Show. And yeah, of course, you're going to go back tomorrow to Carnival. Who wouldn't? And I heard it was in a freaking tent. So does that mean it was sponsored by FEMA or something? Or was it like, you don't put these girls under a tent. And then I hear they have like all these new categories for the AVN award show, which I just don't understand, man. I mean, it should just be super simple. And it shouldn't be, you know, all this stuff that shouldn't be there. Hey, John Jay. And John Jay, thanks for the gorgeous dress. So I'm wearing John's dress that he got me. I'm an extra small in Fashion Nova, by the way, and he knows what I like, the red, anything red. Woo! Okay. Hi, Fitness Ninja. How are you? So for those of you who are just hopping into the live stream now, we are giving away a couple of copies of Dominique Simone's book, A Star is Porn. She came into the adult film industry when it was a lot different than it is now. Yeah, I don't know, Dave. I mean, thanks, guys. Dave, it was a tent that's like one of those event tents. So basically you have girls in there signing. I don't know what the AVN experience was like. I do know that Dominique was like the only dressed up one there. Like she's one of the few that were dressed up appropriately because you don't go in there dressed with like flats. You don't go to something like that dressed with sneakers or like some kind of like floppy dress or something. So of course Dominique didn't do that. She starts posting photos all over the place with this gorgeous black dress on and like a first stole. I'm like, wait a second, what are you doing? I decided because it's Valentine's Day and because John, who's in the chat, bought me the dress to wear tonight because I really, really like it. And maybe I'll wear it at one of the XPW shows. I don't know if I'll wear it to go out. It's like cold out today. At least it feels cold, or maybe because I was rudely like awakened at 3 a.m. by some selfish dick that wanted to go speeding down the street and crash into 2 cars and get out of his car and go running from the cops. So a lot of us were up and the tow truck came like at 5 a.m. to get the other car. They couldn't find this guy. So when you're dealing with cops in LA, you're dealing with like Keystone cops. They have no clue. What do they not have a market for in adult films today? Like stuffed toy cats or something? Or, I mean, I think they just got it all. Like, we just got to keep it simple because there's no reason there should be like 700 girls on a red carpet. Like, why? Were they all biological females too? You know, I hope to God that in the adult business, they do not start this whole thing with allowing trans identifying women to go into the award categories as biological women, because it's not right. It's not fair. But who knows like how that's going to go so far. It is going to be Valentine's Day in 2 days, VD, as I like to abbreviate it. So I hope everyone's doing something fun. And I was saying earlier, for those of you who don't have a date, you have us tonight. You have a double trouble. And next week's guest, by the way, was actually talking to me today. So he's going to make sure that he is in a stable place for internet. And I think a lot of you can actually figure out who this man is. Hi, Cappy Caveman. Mwah. Cappy Caveman is one of my very first members for the page. Cappy, starting next month, it's when all the exclusive content comes out. But Cappy, if you could drop me in the private chat somehow, your address, or if you're on my social media, I needed to get you a gift bag because you're one of my very first, members, which will be cool. But thank you, Cappy Caveman. I could tell you probably like the show Captain Caveman growing up. I don't know how the chat's working here exactly, but I guess the only way to really do this is for you to message me through social media somehow, to somehow get your address to me so I can get this to you. So Dominique's going to be coming on soon, and she just wrote a book called A Star Is Porn. Everyone's like messaging me now, and it's like so annoying. I'm on my live stream, dumbass. It's like Monday. This is what I do, and I speak to people. Cappy Caveman, are you on my social media by any chance? If you could let me know, I'd really appreciate it. So I could at least find you and reach out to you that way. They're talking to me about this movie called American Satan. It's a heavy metal movie that takes place in LA. I heard something about it. I don't know if you guys heard anything about this movie. But yeah, Dominique wrote a book, A Star Is Porn. It's really a great book. It's fun to read, especially back in that era when you had, darker skinned girls getting into the business. And, I think it was probably a lot tougher back then to break into it. She came onto the podcast one time. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun having her on here. And I know a lot of you have questions, especially Sean and a few others. But how do you do this? I'm still getting used to this. I'm so excited to get my contacts in like next week because I don't have to squint anymore when I look, and I could actually see everyone's comments a lot better than like squinting, because that's a really bad habit. Hi, Hellstrom. How are you today? So yeah, Dominique should be here soon. Some of us are like still stuck in the 90s in that respect, where we don't really get the technology. Like I'm still getting there. A few of you told me to break down and get StreamYard, which I did. So like I'm almost there. Not quite yet. And Cappy Caveman gets the initial membership gift bag because he went ahead and got a membership from me for the YouTube page. And by the way, anyone who goes to Rumble, please make sure you join the Jasmine St. Clair show and you start following that, because I'll be having different conversations on there, way different than the ones on here. So hopefully, you guys might enjoy that as well, because I know sometimes I go a little bit crazy off the political spectrum here. And I know it's not what everyone wants to hear, but I think I watch the news a little bit too much. And, I get kind of carried away on my own. But yeah, she should be here soon. And I don't know. It's going to be VD soon. It feels like this year so far is going by kind of slow. And someone did ask me what was the guest for next week. So John Wayne Bobbitt might be hopping on here next week. And I know you guys might have questions for him. I don't know what kind of questions, but we will not be asking him for dick photos because we don't do that. We try to keep it classy. At least I do. I'm still like battling with my throat being sore. Was it from the being up so late, like being awoken in the middle of the night? Because some asshole almost knocked my motorcycle over, but hit a car, and just like not sleeping enough today. But I don't have any Tiger Life energy. I'm out of my favorite energy drink because I drink the Tiger Life energy drink. That works slowly, but I know a lot of you see me amped up on that afterwards. Then we're also getting ready for WrestleCon, for WrestleMania week. Yeah. I like bringing everyone together from far and near on these because there's so many people out there in the world from different parts, and it's just fun, and it's kind of cool to see what people like, what they don't like, and I like to get different guests on, obviously, because it's fun, but I try to keep it 90s because it seems as though the 90s is really a sweet spot these days. And don't forget, later this year on Netflix is the Jerry Springer documentary that I really encourage everyone to watch because that is going to be so much fun. I'm going to text Dominique right now. We are hair gorgeous. She got her hair blown out for you guys. Oh, just so you know, like Dominique is like me. Like we have our shit together. She's here. But I want to make sure you guys are happy. Like, I don't know if you guys are gay. Yeah, I'll bring Luke Blue back. So if you guys are like totally gay, you're not in the right room unless you like hair and makeup. Because this, okay, I have a confession. Dominique is the only guest I've showered for and gotten made up for. I'm sorry. Like, this is the only time I've taken a shower before my live stream because it's Dominique and I put on a dress. Because this girl is like the most glamorous thing. I mean, just look at her. This is what she looked like at AVN this year. Duh. I mean, seriously, that is so 90s. And then here we go. This is her book, which is a completely gorgeous book. So she managed to keep up the glam. Let us welcome Ms. Dominique Simone. And remember, we're being nice. Anyone who's not nice, I will cut your dick off and put it on a stick. Hi.
Hi.
Woo! I dressed up for you, girl.
Good girl, you got dressed up, girl.
She gave me
bodysuit though. You're all like, ooh, boobies. Yes, I love it.
I know yours look so gorgeous. Oh my god, how big are they now?
Thank you.
They look good.
Thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm like, some idiot almost ran over the motorcycle last night. He came down the one-way street. Yeah. Nothing happened to me though. But at 3 a.m, you decide to be an idiot. It was Super Bowl. I forgot. You decide to be a moron.
Did your team win at least?
I don't follow Super Bowl.
Oh, you don't. I didn't even know who was playing until like a week ago. And then I went and got my jersey. I feel so bad. I'm not a big flex sports person though. You know,
yeah,
I knew a lot of athletes, but
that's different though, because they want to know you.
Yeah.
It's not like some people that like have these like sports podcasts and they're banging all the athletes. It's like, dude, are you that much of a homie hopper that you have to be hopping on everyone's dick to like get an interview? Duh.
That is so funny. Oh my gosh.
See, this is what the 90s does to us guys. And a lot of guys, like especially Sean Valley. Sean, we never worked together in the 90s. Dominique said she's very scared of me at one point in the 90s because she thought I was crazy. Then I heard her laugh. Then I compared it to mine and I realized it's like right up there. But everyone's excited. Sean is from Trinidad and Tobago. So I'm not sure.
Sean, how are you? Sean, he's a friend of mine. Hi.
See, I think you should be sending us like West Indian food or something like that. But guys, so Dominique has her new book out, A Star Is Porn. You need to go on Amazon. Actually, could you flash it to us, please?
Right here.
See, it's gorgeous. It looks like a box
right?
cover. Yeah, she's gonna sign this. Okay, guys, here's how the giveaway works. Contact me via social media or Dominique. Or both of us, and just let me have your address if I don't have it already, and she will sign and send this to you. And I know a lot of you that are watching the restream are going to be bummed out because you weren't here because you have other things to do. But we're here. So I would. Oh, Sean is forever proud of your accomplishments.
Oh,
but
tell him thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, child. So anyway, I'm telling you, I'm sorry. I have to stop with the accent.
Oh, you're
I
my
didn't have
Valentine, so
What's that?
You're my Valentine.
Oh, thank you. You're my Valentine.
Valentine show. So I had to, dude. I set it up with the little teddy bear and everything. Went all out.
I feel like I have to have chocolate right now. Actually,
I love chocolate. Oh my gosh.
I got chocolate from Nespresso.
Oh, so good. So good.
I know. It's so bad for you though.
We don't have to go to that restaurant that you were talking about and have some fancy chocolate mousse.
Oh, Prime Ocean. Yeah, that's a good one. And I don't know if, and then have like ribs or like lobster, whatever they have that's classy there. Whatever is the most classy, expensive thing on the menu is what we do. Because seriously, like I got to look at this photo again because this is Dominique at AVN, dude. I'm just like I'm trying to still wrap my head around this, but with the giveaway, guys, let's go ahead and okay, so the first man, biological man in the chat that can, I know I'm being really bad today. And I'm sure you've listened to Crazy Train. Dominique, do you remember your first movie?
Yes.
The name of it?
Yes.
Don't say it. What's Dominique's first movie? First person to put it in here, then I know what you've been doing with your time, your spare time in your basement.
What are you drinking?
Right? It's water.
Oh.
Baby Got Back?
That's not my first one, but
Sean. Okay, guys.
But that's my first movie for video team.
There you go. Okay, you know what? That's what it is. It's Baby Got Back. That's her video team. Okay, guys, what was her first movie ever? Who was your first movie for anyway?
Wow, it was with Angel Kelly. Angel Kelly, I played her sister. It was her last movie and my first. And but I don't remember. I think the director was Henry Pritchard. You remember him?
Yeah, vaguely.
Caballero, maybe. Caballero. Wow.
So, guys, Baby Got Back. My Gag Factor 5.
I don't remember doing that one at all.
That sounds scary, guys. Maybe I got to take this back a bit. So this
sounds
is a very
like a horror movie to me.
Yeah, I'm scared now, man. That sounds like a John T-Bone production. Okay, guys, I'll keep it simple for y'all. Here we go. You're not gonna like this, but I have to because I've been obsessed by it. Okay, guys, if we really dig into Dominique's encounters, who is the other adult film star she dated? Anyone know? I know who it is. Yeah, he's like Fear of a Black Hat.
Fear of a Black Hat was a regular movie that I did. My first
TT Boy. John Jerry. I have John's address. I'll send it to you. Oh, Sean Valley and TT Boy. Do we have 2 books?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So Sean, send me your address and I'm going to get, so we got 2 books to give away. And yep, we got it. Now she didn't date Lexington Steele. Okay, guys. So we got the 2 books. So we got John Jay and we got Sean Valley as winners. Sean, I know you'll enjoy this while you're dancing around at like Carnival and all this stuff. Yeah, look at the coconuts. I swear, I got to get bigger boobs. I'm like waiting another year to do them.
Oh, your boobs are great.
Thank you, but I want them bigger. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's one of these days. I have high ambitions for myself. So you go to AVN, you have to tell us, seriously, what the fudge?
Girl. So, when I had initially decided to go to AVN, I was just, I just bought a ticket, and I was just going to go to the awards show. And then I got a call to do the sign at the booth for AVN. So I said, okay, that would be cool. And I think I was signing next to, oh my gosh, what was her? Brittany Andrews. That's where my booth was originally supposed to be. And James Bartolet had been looking for me like most of the day because I didn't stroll in until 4:00 because it was 4 to 6. And I didn't realize that everybody was signing until 8:00. And so I get there and I have my coat and my corset and my flowing, and I'm walking in with my glasses and everybody's looking because I have this coat flowing behind me like, oh, here comes the queen. And so I go over to James's booth and it was just like really, really good, So, everybody was saying, are you going to the award show? Are you going to the award show? And I was like, yes. And they were like, oh, well, you can go get your tickets over there. And I said, I already purchased my ticket. So we got to the red carpet, me and Steve, and It wasn't like it was like in the 90s. Remember how the red carpet was? We get out of the limos, get out, and then everybody would be just right there, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, like it is at the Oscars, they get out the car, bam, you know, you walk down the red carpet, you do your pose, you do that. And but when we walked in, it was at the Resorts World. So when we got there, I strolled in at 7:30. The red carpet started at 4:30. They say, "Oh, well, the red carpet is closed." And I said to them, first of all, I have been in this business for 30 years, and you're going to tell me that I can't walk the red carpet? So the girl comes and she's like, "Oh, young girl." She's like, "Oh, come on." So get back to the red carpet, and there's like 700 people in line. So basically, you could buy your ticket to the award show and the red carpet. And I was like, what? And even and I'm looking and I'm seeing like stars in the line, standing in line. And I'm like, okay, am I really standing in this line to go walk this red carpet? The red carpet was 2 hours. Girls standing there without their shoes on. They're like, whoo, my feet hurt. I was like, oh my goodness, this is so crazy. I was the last person, that picture, I was the last person to walk the red carpet. And then the last. And then once I got past the red carpet, then I had to walk up another like red carpet way where all of the fans were, So they have seen 600 people walk by them, So the show was supposed to start at 8:00, but the red carpet was like 2 hours. So it started at about 9:30, and it was just weird. I was just standing there and I was just looking and I went, this is not like it was in the 90s.
No.
Everything was so different. First of all, a lot of the girls, they're just so young. And cam girls, that's what they're called, right? Cam girls.
Yeah, that's what I have other names, but that's
and I was just like, these girls are so young and they're all like considered porn stars. And I was just like, and I turned to my friend Steve and I was like, do you know we walked this carpet almost 25 years ago? And I said, I feel like I'm like in the Twilight Zone. I was just like tripping, It was like, it was crazy. It was like the Source Awards meets Fashion Nova, how the Source.
Ew.
It was like kind of crazy for me. It was just not, at least when we walked the red carpet, it was like really, it was almost like the Oscars, It was just like, and then I just think that during our era with me and you and with Taylor Wayne and, the Raquel Darian, Ashling Gear, Heather Hunter, Janet Jackme, it was just a different kind of star. A different kind of star. And not anyone could just get into the industry. I mean, I was just like, when I was just looking and I was like, oh my gosh, all of these girls are in the business. I didn't know who anyone was. I saw Cinnamon Love there. She was so cool. She was there, but everyone else, I didn't even know who they were.
I can't, man. I would have been so like, I just would have pushed to you know how I am. I just would have pushed. I'm like, who are you? Okay, yeah, go. Yeah. So I don't get it. It's like anyone's a cam girl. I mean, do you think that the internet hurt the porn industry pretty bad?
Well, I think what hurt the industry is, yes, kind of, because first of all, remember when we could go and dance and feature dance and stuff, So once the internet hit, then these guys, they could just stay at home and, be behind their computer. They didn't have to leave home. They can just, nobody had to see them, but they could see you, and I just think that once people were able to see our movies for free, because I don't know if you remember this, but our movies used to be a DVD. Remember, we used to have the DVDs and they
VHS.
were like $200, So now they have like Pornhub, and I've gone down that rabbit hole to all of those crazy websites that they have with our movies, and people are watching us for free. I went to look at one of my movies and it was like 500,000 views, and I'm going, where's my money?
We never thought.
Yeah,
we didn't think what happened like at this time. We never thought that the internet would have been like what it is right now. And unfortunately, like when we signed those model releases, it did not cover the internet. I'm just saying.
No.
If you think about it, it never did. So I want to know, is there possibly a lawsuit? That's just me.
I think that, remember Tracy Lords? You remember her?
Yeah.
She did a movie called Tracy, I Love You. And that was like right after they found out that she was underage and right when she turned 18. And she got residuals from that movie. And that's the first time that I've ever heard of anyone getting residuals. And as a matter of fact, I saw there is a legend there by the name of Seika when I was signing.
I love Seika.
She was at James Bartolet's booth, and Christy Canyon was there, and Ginger Lynn. And I don't even think that they got residuals, So it was kind of unheard of for the actresses to get residuals until Miss Kardashian, her movie came out for Vivid, and then all of a sudden, $1 million, leaked movie. You know what I mean? So
I would look into it with a lawyer at some point. I'd want to see what it is. Like now I'm thinking about it. Someone wants to know if Lust of Blackula was your first movie or Women of Color 1.
Women of Color 1 was my first movie that I did that Shawn Michaels directed. And my very first movie, can I say?
Yeah. Yeah, now you can do it.
My first movie was actually called Even More Dangerous with Angel Kelly. That was my very first movie. Yeah.
Speaking of dangerous, TT Boy showed up to support you at the signing. So did you? You didn't knock him out or anything?
I still have so much love for him and respect for him. He, even though we had our turbulent moments, he was very good to me. You know about those Riveras.
Okay, so guys, I dated TT Boy's brother, and I ended up throwing knives at him and beating him up because we were fighting. And this was when, like, what was it called? Caller ID was a thing, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, and then I don't know what this. It was something so stupid though, Dominique. And I called him. I don't want to leave a message, and I just hung up and left my house. I came back, and I was standing there, guys, in the middle of my living room on the phone with my agent in Florida at the time. And all of a sudden, he climbed up the balcony. He's 2 stories high, and he's in my freaking living room. There's no telling what this guy is going to do. So I started throwing shit at him. My manager called the police, in California at the time, that area I lived in, gave my address. And this is shortly after O.J. Simpson, guys. So they showed up back. Yeah.
After that, that's when, as a matter of fact, me and TT had a fight at the same time, around that time, and they actually took us both to jail. They didn't book us, but because we would not stop bickering, they took us both to jail and had us in cells side by side. And then they let us out at the same time, and crazy, right?
Yeah, what the fuck is up with them? Then one night we were going out to get supplements.
Simpson thing, they were just like, any type of arguing domestic violence was just like a no-go. You know what I mean? And it was crazy, but that's so funny because we had a fight about the same time, and they were like, shut up, and we were and they were like, they took us both. Yeah, and I was the crazy one because it was something that I had done a lot of wrong that night. The throwing of things and stuff, taking his car. We were on the freeway, and he always had nice sports cars, but he was driving, and I think we were on the freeway, and I took his car and pushed it in reverse when he was driving. Crazy. Yes, yes, he remembers that. I know he remembers that. And so it was just something, and it had all started because we were on a set, and there was this girl. Her name was Tiana Taylor. Do you know who she is?
Yeah.
And she had the biggest crush on him, and she was just like talking shit, and I got mad, and it was just something that started in the car, and then that happened, and then it just kind of ventured back, into the house. And yeah, it was a crazy night that night. We didn't break up though. We didn't break up. We went home together, and I don't know, we probably had crazy sets that night too.
Probably, but you should have tried to run him over with the car, because that happened to me and Keith. We're coming from the Orange County Fair, and it was some kind of stupid fight, and I started hitting him in the face while we were driving.
Oh my goodness, we're some
And I
crazy.
got out of the car and I started walking.
But
the freeway.
Seeing TT was very, very nice.
Yeah.
We're at different places in our lives, and we all are, and we've grown and matured, and we have different things going on. So it was just really exciting to catch up with him. I was so excited to see him, and just give him a hug. It had been such a long time. I actually hadn't seen him for maybe like 4 years. I did his interview for his show, and
yeah,
it was just really, really nice to see him. And I was there with Stuart Canterbury, and TT had done his first movie for Stuart Canterbury. So and because he's written a book called Shocking Pink. So we were there doing our promotions together, and Stuart said that he's Phillips TT. TT said that he did his very first scene for Stuart. And Stuart said that Jim South called him and said, I have this guy, you're going to love him. Mm-hmm. And he's coming in and it was maybe a 2-hour drive. And he said, oh no, I can't believe you're sending me someone that's not going to make my whole production late. But he said he showed up on time like he always did.
Yeah.
He always showed up on time. He was always... And he always looked good, smelled good, his hair,
Mm-hmm. That's what they did.
So the fact that he came out and showed his appreciation for both of us, it was just very, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I have to get Stuart on the show. He was very classy. That's what I remember. Sean said it's like comparing the original supermodels of the 90s to Instagram models of today. Well, that's what we try to do. They don't know anything about glamour. Someone else has a question. Memories of being on Snoop Dogg's Murder was the Case music video. How did that happen?
I went and auditioned for it with she was a huge casting agent back in the day. She casted for the show Girlfriends, because I actually auditioned for the show Girlfriends. And yes. And she was just a huge, I think her name was Robbie Reed Humes, and she had a casting, and I went in and auditioned. And that shoot was like probably one of the craziest shoots I've been on, because, of course I go and get my hair is like this, and I get it blow dried, and, and I'm in my little string bikini and my little top. And I look around, and it's like these girls, like they were like all strip club girls, but I'm like, ooh, like that. And they're like, pop, 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 and I don't dance like that. So Dr. Dre, when they did the bathing suit checks, he saw me and he went, damn, you got some big ass titties, like that. And so he took me and he put me right in the middle of the pool scene. So I'm in the middle and I'm just dancing, and I'm just like this right here, and all the other girls around me, they're like really dancing, like really good. And so, yeah, he snatched me. He was like, yeah, we're going to put you in the front. So, and it was a crazy day shoot. I sat in the corner like all day, because the girls were just like so mean to me, Well,
like, yeah, look at you.
Like, oh, look at your boobs, and I remember I had on a flannel shirt over my bathing suit, and then they were like, "Okay, we're doing bathing suit checks," and I went bam, and they were like, "Oh, they didn't know, and all of that under there, and so it was, but and then I remember actually walking over to the pool scene, and right behind me was Snoop and his boys, and he was like, Dominique, this ain't no porn set. And I looked back, and he was, yeah, I know who you are. And I was like, so it was a really fun shoot to do that day. He had like a lot of people that just popped by, like the Wayans brothers and just different people there just hanging out. And it was just really fun. That was like one of the bigger music videos that I had done. I had also done one for Brian McKnight, which I had more of a feature in because it was just me and like two other girls. And they took me and they put me behind Brian McKnight, and he's singing this song, "Keep It on the Down Low," and I'm in the back going, "Keep it on the down low." And I was like sitting behind him on the stairs, "Keep it on the down low." And so I had a lot of like little small parts in that music video, and that was fun. And so for a while I was doing a lot of music videos.
Yeah.
But that just got kind of exhausting, sitting there all day for that little bit of money. I was just like, yeah, this is going to get me some notoriety, but this is like too long. Like 12 hours, like
Oh
sometimes
yeah.
8 to 12 hours just sitting around, just waiting for them to call you. It wasn't like that for us. We walk in, get our makeup done, and yeah, at least that's what I did. I wasn't sitting around on those sets all day.
Oh hell no. No, that never happened. Sitting on a set all day. I don't have patience. Like I never had the patience then.
I've actually been on one pretty late in the night. I did a scene with Rocco Siffredi. And yes, yeah, it was at this mansion somewhere in Bel Air or wherever. And we shot that scene. It was, I kind of felt like it was just him and I, but it was like two other girls there for this movie called Casanova. And we were on the staircase, and it was like 4:00 in the morning.
Oh my God.
4:00 in the morning. That's and then I remember when we used to shoot at like the Avocado Ranch, they shoot all night.
Wait a second. Was that the Charles Manson Ranch, the one at Santa Susana Pass?
Oh, no, they shot movies there?
Yeah, like we were shooting there all the time. And I've got to tell you, like, I don't get all weird and like ghosty and is that the right word? Whatever. It's a Jasmineism. I don't get all like ghost feeling. And I'm not that super, I'm not into the paranormal, but I was sitting there and it was really hot outside, and I just felt like something else was in that shack that I was sitting in. And then John Tebin, oh, you do know this was Charles Manson's ranch at one point. Spoon Ranch. Yeah, it's Spoon Ranch. So I start looking around the ranch. I'm like, yeah, now this is when you could actually get down to where the ranch was and where the huts were. You could tell that there was some crazy
I used to live over that way. I used to live in Simi Valley, so I used to have to pass that ranch all the time. And
yeah, it was really wild.
Crazy. Yes. Is that the only time that you've ever been around like something like that? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happened over there.
Yeah, but we were there quite a bit shooting, so there were other moments. And then it just, I tried to avoid going there because it was really hot. Then the last time I've been at Spawn Ranch is I broke in there during the pandemic with my friend from Arizona, who I went to like Second City with at Improv, and she'd never been there. And yeah, real nice Cappy Caveman. I was very scared.
Wow.
And yeah, I like, he wanted to see it. Like they're from Arizona. They want to see it. They're in LA taking acting classes. We're in the middle of the pandemic. No one's there. We're not going to fucking catch corona. So we went there. And, I hopped over the fence and then showed him where to go. But it's a very dark, creepy place. I have to say, like, I don't know. So Sean wants to know what your fondest 90s memory for professional career and other from your non-adult work life, aside from like almost killing TT Boy. You should have run him over with the car. You should have tried that, and you didn't even do that. That's like so disappointing.
He never let me drive his cars. I let him drive. Actually, when he interviewed me 4 years ago, I was pulling into his I had this McLaren and I couldn't park it. And so I actually let him drive my car and park my car. And he was like, "Oh, I love your car." But he never let me drive his cars. Never. I think he had like Corvettes back then.
Yeah.
But he drove everywhere anyway. So there was no need for me to, it was like, I don't even think I think when I did get my first car, it was a stick shift and it was a Jeep and he was supposed to teach me how to drive. But by that time we broke up over the weekend. So, I had to like teach myself how to drive it. But, speaking of creepy places, he just asked a question about the,
Oh yeah,
fondest,
yeah. Here we go.
my fondest memory probably would be at AVN 20, about 20, 25 years ago. And me and my makeup artist Steve, we went to the RuPaul show, and I think that at this time it was when the AVN award show was at Bally's. Remember Bally's?
Yeah. That
They
was
used to
fun.
have a lot of award shows there, and it was at Bally's, and RuPaul was performing, and we went to the show, and RuPaul actually pulled me up on stage, and he was like, "Here's my little sister, Miss Naomi Campbell," and and he pulled me up on stage, and I think he had this contest where who could do the best orgasm, and I won a bottle of Courvoisier. And that probably would have been like my that was like a really fun time, and that was like during the time when I think we were leaving the awards show, and I had gone and changed, and I had on this like cheetah skirt and this cheetah. I gotta have my makeup artist look up that picture. I had on this cheetah top, and I was really skinny, and my hair was like this, and it was just so exciting, and just like all the paparazzi and cameras and stuff. It was really exciting. So that's probably one of my fondest memories. Let me see. Let me try to think of something else. I had a lot of fun times with Taylor Wayne.
I love her.
Taylor, oh my God, girlfriend, I get your girlfriend.
She's the best.
Go to all of these like nightclubs and like Roxbury. Remember Roxbury? And we used to go to this other club off of Sunset, Bar One.
Yeah.
And there's this guy, Billy, that used to get us in. And we used to have a blast. As a matter of fact, I remember us going one night, and she wore a pair of white chaps, a pink bustier. She got chaps with the G-string underneath it.
Yeah.
A pink bustier and a cowgirl hat. And I don't know what I was wearing, hardly anything. And we took a picture outside of that restaurant, and I think she still has that picture. And she was like, "What was I thinking with my butt out like that?" But it was fun. We had so much fun. There were so many times we were going over what Coldwater Canyon or Laurel Canyon, and we went to so many like parties and partying with rock stars. I remember one time we walked in the bathroom on Billy Idol. He was one time I walked in the bathroom on what's this one that's the guitar Slash at what was it, the Rainbow Room?
It's a Rainbow Bar and Grill on Sunset. You probably upstairs or in the back bathroom downstairs.
Yes. And I remember I walked in the bathroom on him, and I remember sitting at the table with singer from Guns N' Roses. His girlfriend was this very beautiful model,
Stephanie Seymour.
Yes, I remember sitting with him and Stephanie, and I think Ron Jeremy was there because I think they actually came over to the table to say hi to him, and maybe I was there with him, and I just remember just like it was just so much so much fun. And here we are at the award show, and we're leaving, and it's like everybody's looking for the after parties, and I'm like, after parties? When we get out of these shows, all the porn stars are back in their room, either doing some, I don't know what,
doing cocaine,
doing something But believe me, they're not looking to go to no after parties.
Oh,
So,
hell no.
so I'm leaving from the award show and I have everybody walking up to me. Where's the after party? Where's the orgies? And I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. You
People
know,
really thought that? Yeah, the back of your throat and everyone's fucking going, okay? I
but you
mean,
know, a lot of people. I mean, there were some parties that we would have during the AVN. Now, I'm not going to say that I have never been to parties like that.
yeah.
I remember being at AVN, and I remember like a few people had, like Shawn Michaels had some really nice parties, and I remember like going in the bathroom at one of the parties, and someone was there having sex on the counter, and I'm thinking, why the fuck would you want to come to the award show to have sex with the same people that you get paid to have sex with for free? I was just like kind of baffled.
I
But
just don't get that. No, no.
I'm going to tell you one thing I did do in Vegas. We went to this after party, and it was at this place called. It sounded real shady, so I really wanted to go. It's called Down the Rabbit Hole, and it was supposed to be like a swingers club. So I was just like, let me go check this out. So, went there, and the process of just finding out where the party was you got to, send something here, and then they send you the address. So by the time we got to the location, it was like 3:30 in the morning. And it was like, okay, you got to sign this waiver and take a picture of your ID. And I'm going, I'm cold. You have me standing out here taking a picture of my ID, and this is like 20 minutes. And so did all of that process, got in there, and it was just like nothing going on in there. But this guy walked up to me and he was like, "Ooh, you're really hot. You want to go in the, what room was it? The glory hole room?" And I'm like, huh? I was just like in shock, And I'm thinking, well, I am at a swingers club, so that's probably why he's. So it was just really weird, and it was supposed to be a party that. What is her? Okay, I can't. Misty Stone. It was supposed to be her party. Who? Misty Stone. She's a big name. She's a huge star. Yeah, huge star. She was signing at James Bartholet's booth. And very, very beautiful girl, nice girl. And it was supposed to be her party. So as I'm leaving out, she's walking in at like 3:45, and it was done at 4. And I'm like, well, at least I got to see you leaving out of here. So that's probably one of the only parties that I did go to in Vegas. I think I was going to go to Brazzers party, but it was just like too crazy with the fans and stuff. So I actually went to the award show and then just went back to, we went to this little after party thing, and I just went back to my room. But what was really exciting though, when I was leaving to go to the party, I ran into Bella Danger, and I had someone that was like, if you see Bella Danger, please say hi to me. So I'm leaving out, and there she is. So I said, hi, it was actually my son. He was like, I love her. And so he was like, can you just have her say hi to me? So she actually did a message and said hi to him. And it was so sweet. And she was so beautiful and sweet, and like our kind of girl.
I don't know, because that's all kinds of I don't know. Did she have the laugh?
Did you watch the award show though? Did you watch it?
I couldn't do it. I was just like, I couldn't, because the second I saw that freaking FEMA tent, I'm like, I can't, man. And then all these girls, I think it irate me more that they thought that they were adult film stars. Was it Abella Danger was her name?
Abella Danger, yes. Abella Danger, yes.
I'm not gonna watch this shit because I want to go up there and like cut everyone's freaking head off and put it on sticks or something.
Well, I think the what was in the tent, I don't think it was the actual award show. I think it was.
No, but I just saw the type of talent, and I don't want to watch it. Yeah. I was embarrassed.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I was just like, oh my goodness, there are so many porn stars now, and even at the award show, and just seeing like the categories, there were just like 10 people in the categories. I remember like with us, it was like 4 or 5 people. And
Yeah.
the guys were just like so different. Like, we had like the hot guys. We had TT, we had Peter North, we had Rocco, Julian. Remember Julian? He was married
Yeah.
to, yeah, Julian was
Casey
hot.
Valentine, right?
Yes, yes. And so we did Let's to Stills. We had, and it was just like a bunch of like young
Ugh.
boys, and I guess with the OnlyFans and with the internet, everyone has their freedom to just upload their stuff online and anyone can be a star. But I was really impressed with, I can't remember his name, but the guy that won Performer of the Year, I was very impressed by him. I thought he was hot. And yeah, and I just thought that even the movie qualities were different. I think that now they shoot the movies to make them look more like action, like feature films. And we've done our share of movies on actual film because we shot on
Yeah.
film too. And I did a lot of movies that were shot on film, but it's like they put more into I just didn't feel like they put as much energy into the scenes as they did with the actual shooting of you know, the exteriors. But
Mm-hmm.
but like I say, it's my opinion, and the business has changed so much. I didn't think there was a lot of storylines, but even though a lot of the movies that were nominated for Movie of the Year, they 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 seemed like they were very well shot. And I was just
Yeah.
like kind of impressed by that. But it's a different era. There would never be another 90s, and the 90s was the best time. The New Jack Swing, it was just the best era. And I'm glad that I got to experience that with you and with Taylor Wayne. And it was the glam, the golden era, I call it, because it was just like we were just like all stars, all just like stars. You know, when we walked the carpet, it was like, when they do the Oscars, you see Angelina Jolie, you see Meryl Streep, who they are. When
Oh yeah.
someone goes up to them with the mic, everyone's like, it's a Meryl Streep. So that was the difference, because when we were walking the red carpets, it was you, myself, Taylor Wayne, Raquel
Oh
Derrick,
yeah. Girls that should
those
be
girls,
there.
Hunter,
Yeah.
and people knew who we were when they were coming in. It's like, oh, hi, Dominique. It's so nice to see you. And and I'm there, and I'm like, who are these girls? And then I get back home and I look at some of the pictures that I've taken, and I look up their names, and I go, okay, wow, she has like 250,000 or a million followers on Instagram. Okay, wow, but I didn't recognize anyone. Anyone.
Yeah. I know some of these girls, but I feel as though because the guy's at home getting to know them there, and I've had some of them on my podcast, not the ones that I brought onto the live stream, guys, because we've had only one girl so far who was on the podcast that's an alt erotic, because interesting and cool. But you get some of them, they don't have substance or stories. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have substance, you have stories of men pushing their faces against show world to look at you from the outside while
Yeah.
you're in there signing and just doing your little thing. You have stories of shimmying, ripping some guy's hair. Oh no, that was me. But yeah, we have the stories. Now, Sean wants to know, if you can go into a time machine for an hour, what advice for your 20-year-old self would you give yourself about life in general? And that goes for both of us. So what kind of advice would you actually give yourself?
Well, first of all, I make sure that my bangs were brushed. Okay.
You're
What would I
beautiful.
say to my 20-year-old self? Hmm. I probably would have handled, what was I doing at 20? So much. When I was 20 years old, I was just so frightened,
Mhm.
like I talk about my experience in my book,
Yeah.
walking in New York and that's a really tough question. I'd really have to think about that. I probably I'm very happy with the way I did my career. So I had great people around me and great guidance, a great agent, Jim South, and so I had pretty good times in the business. And when I did leave, I think I was 30,
Mhm.
and I just wanted to leave the industry kind of still being at the top of my game. I didn't want to be a girl that was doing movies like into her 50s. I wanted to kind of leave the business and people be like, "Oh, what happened to her?" And so I kind of left in while I was still, yes. And I'm fortunate to have been able to keep up my fan base and have my fans really be there for me, because even after I left the business, I still did like music videos and other movies and photo shoots and magazine shoots and stuff. So but I left the hardcore part of it.
Mhm.
And I was asked, well, I was in line with, I can't remember the girl's name, but I posted a picture with her on Twitter. She was standing in front of me. I wish I could remember her name, but she said, would you come back into the industry? And I said,
Yeah.
they would have to pay me a lot of money. And she was like, what's a lot? I was like, millions. And she said, I do anything for 250,000. I was like, wow.
Wow. I don't want to know. Maybe she'll let someone poop on her head like Vince McMahon was allegedly pooping on that girl's head. I still don't think you heard about the Vince McMahon scandal, right?
No, what is that?
Oh my God, girl. So this 20-something-year-old girl who was cute, zero skills whatsoever, goes to work for Vince McMahon at the WWE, right? She was engaged in a 3-year sugar baby relationship with him. She was getting like BMWs, gift cards, plus her 200 grand a year salary. He allegedly pooped on her head, which I don't think happened. I
Oh,
think she was Vince McMahon is what this is what she said. But I think she stuck a dildo in his ass and pulled it out or did something, and that's when the poop came out.
oh, you would.
That's
I
just
would
my
never
theory.
think of that scenario, but it does
I'm
make
obsessed.
sense.
Yeah, I don't have any advice for my 20-year-old self because everything's cool. Like I said this the other day, I don't want to be reincarnated. If someone wants my reincarnated life, they're more than welcome to it. So Paul wants to know what your favorite movie in the 80s or 90s was, Dominique.
One of my movies,
One
or
of hers, Paul? Okay. In the meantime, which performer did you have the most fun working with? TT.
of course, but we didn't. They didn't put us together a lot because we were a couple,
G.
and of course, nobody wanted to see that. Peter North, maybe.
When did you retire from dancing, like feature dancing?
I retired from feature dancing in the maybe late 90s, early 2000.
It was
Do
fun.
they still have feature dancers at the clubs? I don't even
Yeah,
know.
they do, but it's not the same. So, guys, when we were feature dancing, we had like we would get ready for AVN, like ready. We would have makeup artists here. You'd have September Dawn or someone make your dress for you and style
Yeah.
it months in advance, right? And then you'd get like, okay, so feature dancing, we would spend thousands of dollars
On
on these outfits, guys. Remember, Jackie made mine from Arizona. Then that girl Adriana,
It was
yeah,
amazing. Yeah,
right.
even
That's
for the
what I'm saying.
award show, I worked with a stylist. My stylist, Erin Gomez, amazing. I
Yeah,
my makeup artist,
Steve.
September Burke, and then Steve Earhart. So I came with like a like wardrobe and gown and hair and makeup, and it was a real production, and then I get there and I'm like, wow, you know, I'm looking around and I'm like, wow, but that's what we did. We went all out, and it's with the costumes. The costumes, I remember I would have sequin coats and sequin pants and bustiers with stones on them and wedding gowns for my wedding set, leather outfits specially made, whips, you know. Listen, and imagine going through the airport. You're at LAX, and then they're pulling. I remember I went through LAX, and they decided to check, put my bag on blast.
Uh-huh.
I remember they pulled out this boot because I used to love to wear the thigh high boots.
Yeah.
I had a boot that went all the way up here, and it was red leather boot. And I remember it was like they were pulling forever. They were like, "Woo!" And there's a guy with his camera, like shooting them, like pulling my stuff from the bag. I was like,
really?
yes, it was so embarrassing. I was like, wow, and I had my separate bag with my toys and then pictures and movies, and I'm in this line and it's like security check on me. So it was funny because we would travel with the big, I don't know if you travel with the big cases.
I had a
trunk, the big trunk. Yes.
Yep, I did 2 of them. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then I'd bring all the pictures, and
Yep.
of course we had our Polaroid film and our Polaroid camera. So of course this person that's checking me was probably like, what the hell? The boots, the Polaroid camera, the film, the whips, it was crazy. It was crazy. And
yeah.
it was but it was a fun time, feature dancing, all that money, and it was just so fun and glamorous, being able to be someone different up on stage. And it was
embarrassing when they pull your shit out though. Because they took my fire eating stuff.
I think that at that time, because Jasmine, I'm at a point in my life, like I just recently had someone like try to put me on blast, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what people think about. I don't care what people think about me. As long as I'm happy with what I'm doing and my life, I don't care what you think about me. So I think that during that time, I was just like, it was just like nothing for them to do that to me, because we've been in worse situations.
Yeah, Jerry Springer. Well, I almost got arrested because I was fire eating, and I had Roncinol lighter fluid in like one of those containers with the fire eating wands wrapped up, and this bitch at TSA didn't get it. So then they when I got off the plane in Atlanta or wherever I was going, they're like, well, we kept that back in San Francisco because of this, this, and this. I'm like, my fucking clothes are in there too. No, that's cool. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm telling you what it's for. Like, I told you what it's for. Like, she didn't get it. So I think it's like still there that I had explosives on a plane. I mean, it's just, yeah, the fire eating was fun. Like, I could still eat fire. Not that I have any reason to do it now, but it was highly like embarrassing to and I feel like that was an era when, someone had the opportunity to shame you. They were going to shame you, whatever. It didn't shame me though, because like you're out there doing Springer and Stern and shit like that. And by the way, you did Stern, right? Like I had a great time on Stern. He was an amazing experience because you're smart. That's why I had a good experience, Sean, because Sean asking this. And because when you have smart people on there that are honest, not trying to be stupid or something they're not, you have a better Jewish experience with Stern. What was your experience like with Stern, with Bubla is what I call him?
Is they shoot at like 5 a.m. It was like 5 or 6 a.m. I had to be there, so to getting makeup done at like 3 a.m, and I chose to go on with a bikini. Because I had never seen Stern. I had never seen the show. So I just figured that, you just like wear a bikini or whatever. So I go on with a bikini, and I remember walking in, and he was like, "Oh, hey, now," and what was his host name?
Gary Delbato,
The girl,
Robin Quivers,
the girl.
Robin,
Yes, she was.
Robin.
Yeah, and he was very nice to me. He was a lot nicer to me than they say he is usually to most guests. So, and I had done the movie, the Howard Sperm movie. So
Yeah, I remember that one.
and I played Robin Quivers, and Jonathan Morgan played Howard Stern, and he did a really good job with the comedy stuff. He was just like, he was an amazing actor. So I had just done the Adventures of Howard Sperm, and so he had so he had a copy of that, and it was so funny because you see Jonathan Morgan there and me like in a bikini, like and then Jonathan Morgan with the black wig and stuff, like with the big glasses, like So he was just like really tickled by that. He was just like, "Oh, and I worked with you in a movie," and so it was fun. It was fun. I did a show one time. How many times did you do it? A lot,
19
right?
times. Yeah.
Oh,
I was one of his highest rated guests, then by his own
wow.
admittance. Yeah. Like it was funny. I have the clip somewhere, and he's like, yeah, she had more ratings than that blonde girl, Jenny, or whatever her name is. Robin interjects, you mean Jenna? Then that bitch. Okay.
No.
Oh yeah, right. So let me tell you what this little bitch does with her cheap ass weave. She comes down to my show at the Sahara. I had a show at the Sahara during Comdex. It was
But what are you talking about?
it was a show that I had at Sahara. I was on Stern that morning promoting my show at the Sahara. It was like an all adult review, like a showgirl show, but with penthouse pets.
Okay.
Yeah, Ron Jeremy hosted it. John Wayne Bobbitt was there, and yeah, exactly.
I
Then right, then she gets down there with her fucking skanky ass and like Felicia Ann, and then they tried to cause a scene. So I mean, that is just like, that's when you get your hairpiece whipped off and like shoved. That's when I hold it outside of a taxi cab. So
and that's why when
you were scared of me.
You were dating Keith, I was like,
fuck him.
I hear that girl is crazy because I always heard stories like that.
Is that what he said about me? That I'm crazy? What the fuck did he say about me? What, he told you I ripped his hair out, or that I put gum in it, or what?
Anytime I thought about you, I just remember like hearing these crazy stories about like fighting and stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm so scared. But you're so sweet.
My god, he started the fight.
But I never had experiences like that with other girls.
You were fine. No, you were fine. It's because she's just a piece of. She looks like one of those mean girls in a trailer park. The outside of the trailer park. That's what she reminded me of. And she was very highly rated with her PR, but I think like drugs were her biggest, but she instigated the whole thing by coming to the show and wanting to start a fight with me. Okay, I took JKD for 12 years prior to that. Then she follows me and my girlfriend Angel to this someone's club. They had a club, and we were sitting there with the owner and his friend having a normal conversation. Then they started talking shit. She punched Felicia Ann in the face, my girlfriend Angel. Then you don't go saying over there, say, oh, keep talking to her, she has STDs. And this girl eventually married like Jason Hervey, Angel Heart. Then thank you. See, everyone's Team Jasmine. Then I got up in Jenna's face. I spat in her face. Then I grabbed her fucking hair. That's when the weave started. But all I'm saying is, you don't fuck with people. Your parents have to teach you, do not fuck with psycho people. Because let me tell you something. When I go after you, I go after you. Okay? That's it. Anyway,
well, you were there that day when I had the run-in with the supermodel at the gym, right?
Oh, yeah. This is the best story, guys. You got to tell the guys a story because Dominique's so badass. This stupid like supermodel.
Did you see the whole thing though?
I saw the whole thing. This is what we are, Gold's Gym, right?
Oh, it's the Gold's Gym. So I used to roll up in Gold's Gym with full lashes and and courses and just like, I'm in the gym, and at the time I was seeing a producer in the business, and his name is John Singleton.
Yeah.
And there had been a write-up in the Inquirer about us being in Vegas. And then, at the time he was dating a supermodel by the name of Tyra Banks.
Ugh.
So as I'm leaving out of the gym I was with Steve Earhart. She was on the treadmill, and I don't know if I don't think I instigated it, but
No.
I think that she just kind of said something like I was trash,
She did say that, yes. It was, but you talked and she listened. I remember that part.
And but it was just like she jumped up off the treadmill. It was a big scene, and the security was rushing over there, and Steve was looking like it happened so quick. But I didn't see. I know you were there, but I don't know where you were at. But it was just so much going on. Because remember, we would be at the gym, and like Marky Mark would be there, and all of these people. So it was like a big like show, But I just couldn't believe that I'm leaving out, and she like says like I was trash, And I don't remember exactly what I said, but I basically let her know that who the fuck are you? You ain't no Naomi Campbell, something like that, you ain't no Naomi Campbell, and I think that's exactly what I said. Who the fuck are you? You ain't no Naomi Campbell.
No, hell no. She, I was at the front talking to that guy at the front because he had a motorcycle and we were talking about something like that.
Well, you were, you were right as I was leaving out because it happened like at the entrance. Yeah.
Then I saw that. I'm like, she needs to knock that bitch out.
Yeah, I couldn't. And you know what? What's really crazy is that I ran into her after that. I was at a sushi place over by the Beverly Center, having sushi with a friend of mine, and I'm like sitting like right here, and then I look at the table like right behind him, like he's directly across from me, like you are, and I look behind him, and there's Tyra and her two friends, and so and I think I had someone with me. I was with another girl, and she said she had a big ass head or something like that. So I get up to go to the bathroom, and her friends follow me. And my friend, he gets up from the table and he's like, oh no, that's not happening tonight. And there were these real like butch girls that looked like they were ready to beat my ass.
Yeah.
And he was like, he walked over to the bathroom. He was like, oh no, that's not happening right now. And so we ended up leaving the restaurant, but it was just like, that day was crazy. And I can't believe you were there. And yeah, it was just crazy. I couldn't believe that happened so that's kind of like one of my only experiences that I've had with someone like, but we were pretty close to the ready to box and pull hair,
Oh yeah, no, we're ready. But I said to the guy at the front, I said, she needs to get her fucking ass kicked. I said, I hope they go at it in the parking lot. I said, I'm going in the parking lot. I will back Dominique, whatever. I have her back. But yeah, no, this is Jenna.
Because she came at me real hard, Yeah,
I saw that.
I'm not like I'm not a real like ghetto type person, but
yeah, I know.
Like, bitch, own up, I'm like, what? And I'm trying to handle the situation, like be like really nice. I'm like, it's whatever, I'm talking. But she was just like really like hardcore with me. And I was like, oh, maybe she will beat my ass. I don't know. It
was ripped her wig off. It's
kind of like
Tyra Banks
situation. It was just so aggressive, And it
hook
wasn't
her behind the knee.
But I guess it was. But yeah, that's my only like really like fight experience I had in the entertainment business altogether.
It's Tyra Banks, but this is like Jenna Jameson, who I heard smells like a homeless person. Some guy met her at a signing recently. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's sad. Sometimes people don't bathe. Sometimes people do drugs. I don't know what her problem is. I don't give a fuck. But, it's just like, I'm cool with everyone until you do something stupid. And like, I wasn't used to the cattiness and stupidity. I was used to classy people like you and like Taylor, girls like that. remember PJ Sparks? She had a hemorrhoid in her ass.
Yeah,
and she's asking the makeup artist to put the hemorrhoid back in her asshole. It's like,
oh,
dude,
no.
oh, he's a guy. He's gay. This is like the wrong tree you're barking up, girl. Oh, and Sean said to say you're a big part of his development as a teenager, and he has fond memories. He had to thank you. I guess he lost his virginity to you. But
I heard so many guys came up to me saying that at my signing, and I was like, wow, you don't look like you're that old.
Really?
Yeah, I've had a lot of guys come, yes, I've been watching you since I was like, and I'm like, that's too young, So yes, it was. Tell them I said thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I actually had a lot of guys come up saying, oh my, you were like I have some Army buddies and some Navy buddies and Marines that you got them through, and those things were nice to hear, and of course when I used to have my fan club, I got a lot. Did you get a lot of jailhouse letters?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, they would like draw really pretty pictures and stuff. I think they had a lot of time on their hands.
Yes, they would draw. I don't know how they actually got magazines in jail, because I don't even think you can send a picture to the jail like showing any nudity. But I had guys that would send me pictures from the jails and they asked me to sign them, and I'm like, they send me pictures of my pictures in their jail cell. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Yeah.
I didn't ever work with Kobe Ty. Did you ever work with Kobe? I wonder what happened to her. I know she was married briefly. She's doing like married life shit or something.
Was she married? Didn't she marry Mark Davis too?
I think after that, she's a real spinner. Did you ever work with her?
I never worked with her, but I always thought that she was really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought she was gorgeous, but I never worked with her. A lot of the people are just doing their own stuff, their own family thing, and just doing their own thing. It's amazing how a lot of the girls have evolved to other parts of life.
Yeah.
You mentioned Lisa Ann. I see a lot of stuff with her, sometimes, or with what's the other one's name that I was signing? I said that I was signing Brittany Andrews.
Brittany, yeah.
Brittany
Lisa,
Andrews.
I question because she did something pretty fucked up to me recently, so I just don't talk to her. It's like she never changed from the 90s. I question the following she has and all this other stuff. But to like go behind my back to a publicist who I was working with, Jasmine said that you weren't worth it. I never said that, bitch. You said that. And I don't do I don't say he said, she said. I don't get into that. Mm-hmm. And then she makes a scene publicly everywhere she goes. She just did it the other night at something for attention. And then the time before that at my one woman show, she made a big scene like that publicly. So what is the theme here?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's someone I never trusted then. I wouldn't now. Yeah, we could do a tag team match. You and me against Tyra and Jenna. So Brittany, I see doing stuff all the time. I love Brittany. I'll fucking I'll beat up with their asses. But
I was actually supposed to do a wrestling match with I was supposed to fight a boxing match with. I was supposed to fight Tiana Taylor. I don't know what happened. She ended up backing out.
Oh my god!
But
yeah, everyone's progressed wonderfully. I think like the good people, and like shit comes back on people sometimes. Like there's a lot of grifting and shit. Just because maybe you're fucking and sucking every NFL player out there doesn't make you a sports expert. And there's always what fucking and sucking. What did I say?
Pretty good players. I mean, what are you going to gain from that?
Street cred, but you know what I'm saying. And just because someone looks like they have this and that, there's so many people out there that are being financed by some sugar daddy. They don't want you to know. Maybe it's someone in the music business. Maybe it's not. But all the stuff catches up with your skanky fucking ass that you need body type on. Not you, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But to get attention, like Kendra Lust went to that same comedian show. She didn't have to get up and be an attention whore for whatever reason. So whatever, so be it. But it's very few people I get along with from the 90s. Like you would get along with Taylor Wayne, of course. Like you can't like not get along with her. Tara Patrick, Brittany Andrews, and all that stuff,
Mhm.
It's interesting. And I'm flattered you were scared of me though. Who said I got into a fight though then? Like who was this
No,
Keith?
I just remember that when I think I remember
He's
you
an idiot.
when I was with TT, and I remember like this one night that his brother,
Oh God.
I talked to his brother and he was so sad. And I think you were somewhere in Japan or
No,
somewhere.
I was in Brazil. What did I dump his stupid ass at that point?
Yes, and he was
I
so
didn't dump him. What was the problem? What was the problem now? What was the problem? Let me hear this.
he was just like really upset because he was trying to get a hold of you, and I don't think you were in town. You guys had broken up. You were I thought he said you were in Japan, but but he was just, I mean, this guy was like ready to just like jump off his building.
Good, he should have, because let me tell you what happened. This motherfucker, let me tell you what happened, okay? In my defense, people, this motherfucker was there watching TV. Oh, she's hot, she's hot, she's hot. Now I see it's an insensitive, like he was just insecure. It was a trigger, right?
Mhm.
Plus, I do the dark psychology thing when I look at people sometimes, which I won't reveal what that is. And I mean, he was doing that and it made me feel really bad about myself. So I thought he just didn't like me, hurt my feelings. I didn't tell him that. And then I went up to Brazil and then
That's where you were. You were in Brazil.
Spain. Yeah, and then or France or something. And then I was in Brazil and like we were still talking, but I just don't think he really understood what that did to me. And he didn't I didn't understand what my career was doing to him. But I knew there were times that he had bills to pay, but he spent money on taking me out instead, which really broke my heart. But like, I was arguing with him that I went into the night.
Because I ended up running into him because I don't know, he lived in this building where someone else
he lived on Franklin and La Brea and Franklin Towers is where he lived. Yeah.
Big towers. And I had another friend that was there. So I'm leaving out and I see him and I'm like, and it was just like, oh, he was just like so sad. He was just like, I thought he was going to jump off that building.
Jump off because of me. It's like,
as a matter of fact, he asked me to call you because he asked me to call you. I don't know if I actually left a message, but he couldn't even call. He couldn't get through to your phone.
Because I was in Brazil.
Yeah.
He had the hotel phone number. Like, I was all over Brazil on his TV shows, doing this, doing that. I wasn't doing movies. I was just doing a publicity tour for my film. So I was checking in at one hotel, going to another. I was seeing family. I was going here, going there. I had no phone. I called him once to leave him a message.
I think he got that message. I think he said that you had left him a message and then he couldn't reach you. And he was like, can you call her from your phone? So I'm calling from my cell phone and I'm like, man, he was just like in bad shape. And I was like, wow.
Well, he should have thought about that before he opened his fucking mouth on some TV show and about this girl that has a body of a 12-year-old boy and this ex. And he should have thought about that motherfucker. If I ever see him, I'm going to rip his hair out of his head. You tell him that.
I thought maybe you still had some love for him.
There is such a fine line right there, but
there's a fine line between love and hate.
It's just like, he made me out to be some kind. I don't know. What is it with you people? What is it with you guys? You make girls out to be psycho. This guy started it, and that's I should have put I should have put eye drops in his food. I should have put eye drops in all his shit, and he would have had diarrhea. And that's what that is. He got off easily.
Oh, crazy. He's
right. I'm crazy.
That's what
fucking asshole.
I heard about the crazy fights and stuff, and I was like, oh, this girl's crazy like me.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I know. I hope so. Yeah. Someone got to cut his fucking dick off, man. Someone's got to go say, Lorena Bobbitt. Remember that?
As a matter of fact, you interview John Wayne Bobbitt?
Yeah, he's coming on the live stream next week, I think.
Oh my goodness.
John Wayne, what was that like?
Oh my goodness.
I have to ask. Guys are going to want to know. Inquiring men want to know, what was it like dating John Wayne Bobbitt?
Well, he was dropped off we were at an event for Leisure Time, because he did a big movie for them, and it was like a big event we had at this club in Beverly Hills. And so, Mark Carrier was the owner, and so we were all in a limo, and so they were dropping everybody off at home. Everybody was drunk. So when they got to my house, they just dropped us off, both him and I, at my house, So, and I was just like so drunk. So I woke up in bed with him.
So you woke up in bed with John Wayne Bobbitt.
I woke up in bed with him. And I remember when I woke up, I said, let me see it, let me see it. So, I don't even know what happened like during that night, but I know that I don't remember what it looked like, but I wanted to see it. And I went, wow, they did a really good job putting that back on. And
I said that to him?
Yes. And I asked him, I said, what did you do to make her that mad? And
nothing.
When he told me, I said,
Don't get any ideas, because I think a lot of people are going to be really scared of you if you get ideas. But a lot of women wish that they did that to some guys. Like, I would never do that to someone. Bullshit. But
actually, I think that I had read that when it was on the side of the road,
Yeah, it was on the side of the road. It was very heartless.
I'm thinking, oh my God, did I fuck him last night?
Road cock, you got road cock, girl.
I'm like, what? It was like I felt like I was in the middle of a skit or a American Horror Story. I was like, what am I waking? I was so drunk when they dropped us off at my house. And to me, to wake up, and I was like, oh my God. It was crazy. Yeah. It was crazy. And I just remember him calling a car to come and get him. And I don't think that this was when he had done his first movie. Okay, then he went and he did Frankenpenis. He did Frankenpenis. So I never saw either one, but I remember Veronica Brazil played his wife in.
I remember her. Okay, that's her name. That was her name.
Veronica Brazil.
Right.
She was. I did a scene with her. She's amazing, and it was during the time when she did the movie and she played his wife. She played Lorena, and she played a very good Lorena Bobbitt, by the way.
My God.
And so, but this is, during that time, I think it was during, remember when the guy got arrested with the hooker? He had a supermodel girlfriend.
Oh yeah, that was Elizabeth Hurley and Hugh Grant.
Yeah, so they did the John Wayne Bobbitt movie, and then they did the movie with the actual girl that he was arrested with.
Divine Brown.
Yes, Divine Brown. So it was like the John Wayne Bobbitt movie. So we were at a party for like those two premieres, which was kind of crazy. Yeah, I met her. She was actually pretty sweet. Yeah.
It was a wild time, the 90s, guys. Like, I don't think there'll ever be another era like this where we could actually sit here and talk about these things. And like when Jewel Denial came on the show, we were saying the same things. We were talking a lot about just the way things have changed and just how it is, and guys love the 90s. There was just like, everyone knows that.
Well, she was so sweet. How's she doing?
I don't know. I know like John Wayne Bobbitt's doing great. He has a lawsuit against Camp Lejeune. I don't know about,
He's still in Vegas? He's still in Vegas?
He travels. He drives a truck. He was delivering turkey, diesel turkey. So if you need a turkey, I mean, what? You don't want a turkey? No? Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna hit you up around Thanksgiving and Christmas time so I can get my deal on that big turkey.
But you know what? I'm sure he'd like that though. I'm sure he'd be like, "Oh, this is great. This is wonderful." Yeah, he wouldn't. He's not going to give a shit. But this is what I mean. We're bad. Like I'm on here. Like you brought up one person's name, then I go off, then I go off again. I think I'm like, it's something you do that just brings us out, which is good. But then I go off.
Well, we're just talking about our times, our crazy times, you know.
Yeah, we're being honest. Because when someone's a shithead, I'm gonna say if they're a shit. If someone wants to be a fake ass bitch, that's what you were back then. You have not evolved into anything. You freaking wop.
I didn't have too many experiences with the girls from the industry. A few, but yeah, not like that. Not people showing up and wanting to fight. No.
No, and not people like showing up to your one woman show years later, like pretending to be like your friend. It's like, don't pretend you're my friend now because you never were. And you were trying to do stuff to fuck with my career then, and you're still trying to now. So
and
you need
a lot of jealousy with you.
OD.
You were doing
fucking OD. Go fucking OD.
What's going on with you? You had the Howard Stern stuff. You had the Jerry Springer, and you were girl.
Yeah.
You start. So it was probably a lot of jealousy too. You know?
Oh, of course. And you still want to get stupid with me and like pretend you're my friend. Like I'm cool with everyone. Like you're cool. Taylor's cool. Like you girls I'll talk to any time of the day. But like some of these hoes, it's like I knew there was a problem. I didn't like you. You know, and that's why I like your publicist, because she wasn't into like all this stupidity. Now, if people had to get 3 takeaways from your book, which is A Star Is Porn, it's out on Amazon, guys. What would those 3 takeaways be? See the book, it's a gorgeous cover.
Yes, this is the back. Like you want me to just talk about like 3 things that I talk about in the book, or
3 takeaways?
You know, basically my story is like I call it like an adult Little Red Riding Hood. I'm this girl that comes from this small town, and then I go to this, you know, this go through the woods, and I deal with the wolves, and I left my grandma's house, and then I come to this place, this sparkly place, and I run into a lot of different scenarios. And I'm only this girl that's trying to find her way back home. So basically that's what my book is about. It's about, you know, the roller coaster ride of what it was like being this young girl that's just kind of like dropped in the middle of this huge entertainment business. And I didn't realize how big the porn business was, you know, and it's $1 billion a year business, you know, backed by some of the biggest companies in Hollywood, you know. And so I went through a lot of twists and turns, but I eventually made my way back home. And so basically that's what my book is about. And I'm hoping that I can, at least someone will pick up my book, maybe a girl that's thinking about getting into the industry, and maybe they'll be able to say, okay, well, this is what I need to do, and this is not what I don't want to do. Because, you know, I had some experiences that were not too glamorous too, but, you know, I was young, and I had to go down that road and to become the person that I did. And I'm glad that I went through all of that stuff when I was super young, because by the time I was like in my early 20s, which is some girls enter in their early 20s, I knew the business, and I knew, you know, what to do and what not to do. And now this era, and it's just like so many things happening to girls, you know, and I couldn't imagine like being a girl like now and coming to LA and just getting into the business, you know. And I don't even think that they really shoot a lot of movies out in Los Angeles
No,
anymore.
no.
So it's not like it was when we were working. And I mean, literally, I would go and shoot at Vogel Studios, and there was literally about 10 or 20 movies being shot a day in the whole valley, and another thing that was crazy is that, I would go like to places like the sushi spot. This is a really cool sushi spot. And it was like, people would be like, she's a porn star, so it was like, it was because the valley was like where everybody lived, everybody had their little buildings that they lived at, the summit, we had those really nice, like glamorous high-rise apartments and stuff. And so me and TT, we had a really nice apartment over in Woodland Hills. So I remember one time we were leaving out, and what's the guy's name that was in the movie with Jerry Maguire? What was the black actor's name? What was his name?
The black guy in the movie?
Yeah, he was a football
player
player in the movie.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I remember us leaving out the building, and he was just like, "Oh, those two are porn stars." Or I remember leaving out of one of my buildings and running into someone that ended up being like a really dear friend of mine, and I love her. Her name was Vanity. I remember
Vanity.
And I remember running into her, and Nikki Sitz was her boyfriend, in the lobby. So, it was just like the valley was just like, and I remember when I walked by them, he was like, she's a porn star, and she ran to the elevator and got in the elevator, and the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. And I was like, where are you going? She's like, I'm going to the penthouse floor. And I was like, we're going to the same spot. And I ended up being really good friends with her. We used to go out and eat sushi all the time. And there was this one time we were out eating sushi. You remember the revolving sushi place where it went around on the...
Yep.
Yeah. One time we were out and we walked by the studio, and it was Dr. Dre's studio. And I remember Dr. Dre, him saying, coming out, and he was like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? Dominique Simone and Vanity? So we used to be, me and Vanity used to be like rolling around the valley, all the time. And then she moved to San Francisco because I think she married a guy that played for the Niners, and she moved to San Francisco, and we kind of lost contact. And she was kind of really involved in religion and stuff, which she tried to pull me into a lot. But those were fun times, and I had my little Corvette, and I'd be zooming around town like a Barbie. It was just like really fun times, But I want everybody to buy my book, and
Me too.
Amazon. It's at Barnes and Noble, and I'm giving away 3, right?
You know what, guys? We'll do one more giveaway. And then it was Cuba Gooding Jr., who actually I met once after he did the OJ story.
Okay,
so guys,
that's the guy that lived in
the actor.
He lived in TT's building. Yeah.
He did with the Warner Center. So guys, we're gonna do one more giveaway for a book. If you could drop in the comments section, kids. Am I frozen? Yeah, we're frozen. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're kind of frozen. Oh shit.
So let me try to think of a question. No, I'm gonna wait for you to come back. Let's see. What question could I ask you guys? Okay. I'll wait for you to come back. Girl, I was lost without you. Oh my goodness.
No, it's not. It's not like Wayne's World. Some guy wants to know what size your boobs are. Of course.
Oh, I'm a triple D. Triple D.
Damn.
Yes, triple D, double D, triple D.
That is disgusting. Okay. Oh, no, I'm joking. So, guys, we're going to do one more book giveaway for the evening. Then I ordered food from True Food tonight because I am obsessed with it.
I'm get my food too. I'm starving.
Yeah. We're going to go to Ocean Prime when I get back from New Jersey in a couple of weeks. I'm going to Florida for a lower bluff. I'll probably live stream from Florida when I'm there. So, guys, let's do one more giveaway for Dominique's book tonight because I know more of you came in here. So, A Star is Porn. If you're not going to buy it on Amazon, make sure you follow her on social media, Dominique Simone. I tagged her in everything. They're giant. Yeah, it's perfect for motorboating. So here's the next question from Ms. Dominique Simone. If you can get this right, you get the third book, okay? I don't know what the question is.
You want me to think of one?
Yes, you.
Okay. What performer did I work with the most for video team? Someone's gonna get that one.
I don't even know. I have to like look this up myself, but I have a book. Okay, guys. So what performer did Dominique Simone work with the most for video team when she was doing films for them? I used to like those box covers that Bob VC was shooting. They were like pretty cool. Was it Peter North?
Oh my gosh, I get that a lot. I did work with Peter North a lot, but okay,
No.
I'll give you a hint. Okay, I did a lot of My Babies Got Backs for video team.
Ooh.
So it would be someone from that time.
Okay, so it was someone else. It was not Peter North, kids.
That I just recently ran into at the award show, and I took a picture with him, and I hadn't seen him in a long time.
Now I'm gonna look at like your Twitter page to stalk who it is. Was it a guy or a girl?
A guy.
A guy. Okay, it was a guy. I have like no idea, and I'm like looking at your Twitter now to see who it is, and that'll be cheating. So you have to be a real Dominique aficionado to know the answer to this question.
And he always wore a Michael Jordan jersey.
Is it Byron Long? Byron Long?
Close, but not Byron Long.
Oh, I know who it is. Okay. It was not Byron Long, Scott, so it was someone else. I see a photo of you here with Aria Banks. Oh, I see who it is right here. This is simple, guys. Come on. It's like we talked about this guy earlier. This is like the simplest thing. It's not Byron Long. I can tell you that right now. It's actually someone I wanted to get on the podcast, but I've had like no way to get a hold of him.
Oh, I have a way to get a hold of him. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, guys, who is Dominique Simone? Shawn Michaels.
Yes. That's it.
Okay, so we did 3 books as a giveaway. So, Shawn, you got a book. John Jay got a book. And the other one was for, hang on a second. My throat.
I already have the packages ready to go. Look.
Yeah, and I'll get those information, those pieces of information. The what was the first movie you did again, love?
It was called Even More Dangerous.
That sounds scary as book. All right, so Shawn's got a book, John Jay has a book, and then
and I will
Paul Corbin
and send them off.
And I have Paul Corbin's information. Dave, you're a nut job. You always get those. Anyway. All right, so here we go. So who is it? Okay, here we go. Why do people get fit? All right. So Shawn's got a book. This is the second book. That's right. John Jay has a book. The third one. Give it to this gentleman. Fitness Ninja, and I don't have his address yet, but I will soon. I'll have Shawn's address soon because he's getting a PO box. He doesn't want me to send out.
He's the one that told us Cuba Gooding Jr., right? I saw that pop up.
Yeah, he's also the one that said you have really big tits, which I find very like. That's a very like, dude. That's super like sexually offensive. You can't be saying stuff like that to us.
To ask how big your boobs are. You know, I've never. I don't think that I've ever had anybody ask me that.
I'm like so happy.
They've said you have big boobs, but never like how big are they?
Well, no, they're big, but like they're not big enough for me, I think. I'm like a 36 or a 34C, guys. I used to be a 36 double E.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a reduction. I'm gonna have my friend's husband, you know who it is, redo them bigger. So I'm gonna go to Florida for that. Not this time around, but I'm gonna go down there to see her. I'm gonna see her, and then I'm gonna get the lower bluff done.
Me, and he's amazing. I am so happy with mine. So happy, yeah, so happy. Yeah. He's an amazing surgeon. The best.
So bank on 2 weeks from now, having lunch with me.
Oh, great, great.
We'll do Beverly Hills. Okay, we're gonna keep it classy. We're gonna do this very 90s style. Hair, makeup,
All
a
right. I
nice
can't
swim
wait.
outfit or something. I don't know. Okay.
All right. Is it going to be after the Oscars or yeah, after the Oscars? I'm going to the Oscars on the 10th.
When are the Oscars this year?
March 10th. March
Just after that. It'll be like right after. It'll be like right around then after that.
Yeah, like mid March. Okay.
No, Fitness Ninja knows this. He's like he's a big aficionado like Sean Valley. Trust me, I know because I speak to you guys in Instagram and I know I get the request. The other girl I want to get a hold of is Cinnamon Love and Janet Jack me to come on because I know the guys love her.
I have both of their contact information.
Send it over. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I really appreciate it. So guys, sit tight and have fun this evening. Don't do anything crazy. Have fun, eat food.
I might have a glass of wine.
Yeah, I'll do that too. I'm gonna answer the door in my dress. Yeah, I am. And then I'll call you tomorrow to catch up on that other thing we talked about.
Okay, love you, girl. Thank you.
Love you. Bye. Okay, guys, that was fun. You see, and everyone behaved. No one acted crazy or anything like that. So yeah, I've got to have some True Food. My friend Lizzie Valentine got me hooked on True Food again. It's like everything she gets from there is so good. So I'm gonna go have tempeh and a salad. Sorry we froze before. I have no idea why that happened. I think neighbors should not be using the internet because obviously this is way more important than their internet service. Good night, everyone. Me love you long time. And I will see you guys Monday. Make sure you tune in this Wednesday for my interview with Ruby Lynn on Crazy Train with Jasmine St. Clair. Have a good night, everyone. And thank you for the undying support and the patience with these glitches we've had now and again.